Thanks for staying. So we're still on this issue of the fact that security operatives who are supposed to protect lives and properties of Nigerians are recently seen more now to actually be engaged in lots of dehumanizing acts against the same people they're supposed to be protecting. And that's our focus this morning. Is it that the mentality of our citizens, the mentality of these security officials are still so difficult to change at this time? And I'd like us to take a few tweets on this matter. So, you have any tweets for us?
Yes. Mayawa says, Mariah, please don't say this. There is nothing the lady would have done to warrant putting her naked. Let's be objective. Are there no other means for punishment? We must kindly stop this and stop talking down. Remember, that is why the hoodlums were indecent dressed. Daddy Matilda says, indecently dressed or not, no security operatives or individuals should harass anybody on how they dressed, so far as the person is an adult and aware. The same Ojuore has some street urchins who harass passers-by. Why aren't the military guys dealing with those? Someone else says, the citizens respect uniformed personnel due to their dress and gun, but this doesn't permit them to assault people because it is the citizens if the citizens are allowed to carry guns, I don't think military will have the courage to assault them as they will also resist.
Okay, I think I have a call. Good morning, are you there? Okay, I just lost that call. But see, one of the things I'd like us to take out this conversation is that it's important that people understand times are different. So there are times these things were happening and people just, it was a way of life, we accept it, that's how it is. But more Nigerians are getting more enlightened, they understand their rights, they're saying they can go to the streets, they can protest, they can write to their leaders, they can demand and say we will not continue this injustice. And the leaders must understand that the information on how to treat citizens must trickle down to the most junior staff going forward, especially in states that we don't have that they don't have that population like Lagos State. Here in Lagos, they can say, okay, it's hard to get the message around, but Ogun State, there are certain states that are smaller that information should actually get around.
I remember former governor of Lagos State, Fashola, made a policy of no sirens. And he exemplified it. He joined the traffic. You will see that it's his convoy, but he will stay there. He wasn't disturbing people. His deputy governor did the same thing. It trickled down. There was law and order. It might have taken the first 4 years or second 4 years, but we saw how people started conforming, and we saw like Lagos can be sane. Lagosians can obey. We can go and join the queue. It just has to start with exemplary leadership, and it needs to be exemplified at the point that there is conscious punishment of those that move away from the values you are trying to propagate. And it will take a while, but it's consistency. And so what we are seeing now is a result of abuse and hypocrisy. So you play lip service and say, don't brutalize them, don't beat people. But when your own convoy is going, look at what happened. Sadly, I know that the speaker, GOTV Miller, isn't such a person. He hasn't pushed himself like that. But see what happened with his own convoy. He's saying he had no idea that one of his aides shot into the air and somebody died. Why should they be shooting live bullets? Why should they even have a gun? The focus should be on our objective is to protect you and help to. And if you are protected, if the people feel well taken care of, they will not attack the citizens the leaders in the first place.
Yeah, we just need. Yes, for me, we just need to teach ourselves better. We need to train, because for some people, they actually do not know that what they're doing is unacceptable, is wrong, because uniformed policemen or uniformed personnel have done this, and you have people around cheering them on, saying, well done, the person deserved it. So we need to have this conversation constantly and continuously so people understand that there's a better way to handle different kinds of situations. You don't have to brutalize someone, you don't have to strip them naked, you don't have to assault them to pass a message across. And sometimes policing doesn't always have to be about punishment. It's a time to educate somebody. Yes. Sis, come, this is not how to dress next time. There's the respect that that person would live with, and even feel more shame if that person is really indecently dressed, and do better next time.
All right, I think we can wrap up on that. Thank you very much, ladies. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, we are obviously in the Yuletide season. We're currently witnessing our worst economic recession in 4 decades. On the show today, our guests will enlighten us on how to maximize the opportunities around this season. Joining us on the show is a renowned wealth creation agent, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
Of your view.
It's
How
always,
are you guys doing?
It's always a pleasure. So whenever we have you like this, we know it's a full day conversation.
Okay.
So this is the situation. We already are in recession, and everybody's worried about the fact that food prices are up. Many businesses are losing money, and this is a season for spending. People want to spend and be merry and buy and buy. How can we marry both situations where we're in recession, things are expensive, and also we would like to spend some money? How do we manage and maximize what we have at this time?
Okay, thank you very much for having me. When you say we are in recession, I don't know who are the you, because some people have been in recession forever. So they have never seen anything but recession. So when people mention all these heavy words, recession, depression, people are like, have we ever been out of it before? And there are people that have never been in recession. So when you see recession, they refuse to participate because they are not part of that equation. So yeah, the reality is that things are hard and times are tough, things are challenging, but it's always been like that, and it will always be like that. The only thing you need to ask yourself is, how do I get out of that equation? The United Nations have defined living in poverty as living below $1 a day, and living in abject poverty as living below, living in poverty as living below, living in abject poverty as living below $1 a day. And if you look at our nation, you find out that for as long as I can remember, majority of Nigerians have lived in poverty. However, in order for you to come out of poverty and financial lack, there are time-tested, universal principles that guarantees that you will be able to exempt yourself. But the problem is, are we ready to learn those principles, and are we ready to apply those principles? For instance, you have spoken about the fact that there is recession. However, we are in a time of spending. The question is, who defined that time as a time of spending? If somebody has defined the time as a time of spending, must you accept their definition? Can't you make a decision on your own personal life? Because there are only 3 things you can do with money. You can either waste it, you spend it, or you invest it. Foolish people waste money. Average people spend money. Wise people invest money. So you need to now ask yourself, am I a waster, a spender, or an investor? So regardless of the times, whether it's beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year, you have to be able to have personal financial goals, your personal financial plan, your personal financial habit, your personal financial value.
Okay.
So you remember in those days when we were growing up, they used to have Christmas chicken, Christmas clothes. And it became like a major bondage to people. Hey, where's my Christmas clothes? And I keep asking people, what is the benefit of a Christmas clothes when the Christ of Christmas is not in your life?
Right.
What is the benefit of Christmas chicken? Is this sweeter than the other chicken?
All right. Let me get a few more questions in for you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I understand the rationale about not spending when you do not have enough, but the truth is that the way we lead our lives, sometimes our culture comes into play. So we have a tradition where, especially around this holiday season, even where as a business, as a person, if you haven't done well, you're expected to spend some sort of money, maybe on bags of rice, bottles of oil that you give either to your staff or to family members,
your clients.
To clients, all this, what do you call these baskets, that gift baskets that we do? It's a culture. And then as a business, it's like you're setting yourself up for, favor going forward.
Right.
And when you don't do that, it doesn't tell well about your business and also relationships going forward. How would you manage that?
Okay, you see, you don't solve a problem at the same level of intelligence you were in when you created the problem. And any culture that does not promote your well-being is a useless culture that has expired and needs to be sent out. If COVID has not taught us any lesson, then we may never learn forever. Now, you have brought 2 things together. One, corporate, 2, personal and family. For the corporate, as a corporate entity, there is what we call cash flow management and financial management. You already know, okay, I have customers. If you understand financial management and cash flow management, a portion of your profit, a portion of your income must already be earmarked for what you are mentioning now. So we know, okay, as a company, at the end of the year, we're going to do it. So it is already part of the budget. It's already part of the financial plan and financial policy. So by the time we are getting to December, the money for that is already in a separate account. If you want to do barako at the end of the year, then have a budget and a plan for it. So it means that, okay, December we're going to do get together. So from January, every money you are making, you now say, okay, maybe I should start saving X% for December. Not that January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, you didn't save, you didn't plan. Then all of a sudden, in December, you now realize that there is one culture. Abba, who did this to us? So all these things, must you follow the bandwagon? If you have done the same thing for 20 years and it's not producing results, must you not change it? If you are going to get a different result from your fathers and your mothers, you must do something different. If we do it the way they have been doing it, we only get the result they have been getting. All the barako and all the end of the year, Christmas and party we have done, where did it lead us to? Were you able to wear clothes in COVID or go and eat party in COVID? Now COVID is out, you want to waste again. You want to swallow your future. Listen, you need to understand. Once your expenditure is greater than your income, your upkeep will become your downfall. If you eat tomorrow's food today, you'll be hungry tomorrow. If you wear tomorrow's clothes today, you'll be naked tomorrow.
Okay.
If you live tomorrow's life today, you have no life to live tomorrow. So we have to face the reality of our personal economy.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I'm told that we have to go for a live show right now. I'm told that the president will be making a speech at an event, and we'll be cutting up. But we'll continue the show on the TV's Entertainment channel. Go ahead, Tokwe.
Okay, so this is just for our viewers on TV's Entertainment. I wanted to ask, something very similar to what Dr. Olumide Malen is saying now happened to me just yesterday. I'm sure the person exactly watching the show reached out to me that she needed financial help. And I said, what for? And she said that it was because she wants to use the money to print calendars that she will give her customers. And I'm like, must you do this for your customers? That do what is convenient for you. And I think that what he's been saying since is to help us understand that you don't put yourself under pressure to do what everybody else is doing unless it's convenient for you. However, there's some things that it's not about convenience, like food. People have visitors this season. You cannot tell them you are not at home. And you also need to, you spend more time at home this season and you'd want to eat well. What are the advice you would give concerning people that are considering how to shop smart or how to dress up their kids? A few of those things that are general expenses, sending money to our parents, like this is the season, you have to send money to parents and family members. And how can we work around it? And what do you think we can do for those that feel it is not enough? What they have is not enough.
Okay. Now, that is why financial planning and budgeting is part of everybody's personal economy. It is when these things are missing that we keep coming back to all this. But these principles have been there. Why must it be December that you are thinking of sending money to your parents when your parents have been alive since January? Why must it be December you are thinking of doing? Why couldn't you have been putting those things together before now? If you don't have the plan, it will not work. So let me start with the food. Now, so because that's basic need. Now, why do you eat? Because if we don't go back to these basics, we will continue to remain in poverty. Why do we eat? You eat to live. You don't live to eat. So
Fantastic.
you eat for nourishment. You eat to be able to nourish yourself.
Right.
So once you have understood that, do you now need to eat 3 times for that to happen? We have all gotten into the group think and the rot of 3 square meals. Is 3 a square or a triangle?
Thank you very much.
Where did you get the idea you must eat 3 times a day?
Right.
So that is where personal economy comes. You sit down and say, my family.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, Pastor Olumide Emmanuel. It's always a pleasure having you. It's always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much, sir, for shedding light on this. Obviously, planning is the key. Right now, we have to move to Abuja. We have a live transmission ongoing right now. We'll be linking up to Abuja studios.